Good morning, world. This is Edward Bevilacqua. Today it is Wednesday, December 12th, 2018, and it's a beautiful, clear, no cloud in the sky day, though it is a little bit brisk and crisp, which is why I'm wearing this outfit or this top, which was given to me as a gift by the best Jesuit in the state of Nevada, Father Max Oliva, S.J., also a graduate of Santa Clara University. That's a little bit of trivia for those people watching this 100 years from now. So today we're going to talk about kind of a takeoff on a Jordan Peterson talk regarding uselessness, people feeling useless, and how to get beyond that. However, as a starting point, I want to acknowledge our students in Reno doing a great job. Class number 2, class number 1, also great job. I understand that over 3/4 of the people that started the program are now gainfully employed. One of the employers who hired most of the people texted back saying that you guys are awesome. So, fantastic work. Just checking, I got a couple text messages, just make sure it's not President Trump wanting to reach out to me. You never know. So acknowledge that. Also, our WellCare students in Las Vegas, this is day 3 of week 2, and they're doing a great job. Have made a tremendous amount of progress. And then I want to acknowledge Department of Corrections, Elizabeth Coleman, for her leadership and support of King Thomas, and of course Mr. Scally making it happen so that on it's now official, on January 7th we will be opening a classroom inside of Southern Desert Correctional Center. So that's inside the institution. There won't be internet, but we will have Chromebooks. And that's just the start of big things in the state of Nevada, bringing Nevada to the leadership position in education, reentry education, which doesn't mean general getting your GED or your high school diploma, which may be important for low-level jobs, but having a high school diploma at the age of 30 or 25 is really not going to be of great value to get the type of employment one needs. It's not enough. So thank you to all those, and we're looking forward to some other big announcements soon. Okay, that's enough for the historical record. Today is a new day. We are in week 2 inside our skull-sized kingdom. And what does that mean? Well, again, briefly, that means we are, as people, we see everything happening around us. We're the center of our universe. Everything happens to us, around us, for us, against us. If we want to move from here to there, I have to start with where I am. I think things are good or bad relative to my view of what's good and bad, etc. And so that's this week inside our skull-sized kingdom, and we focus on 3 functions, which are our neurons, our brain structure, and we're really focused on the neurons and what is stored in them, the neurotransmitters, and our reticular activation system, which is part of our brain located in our brainstem, which is associated with our beliefs or things that are important to us. And so Tony Robbins says things that are important to us, Mark Dawes and other people say our beliefs. And I think one way we can kind of tie those 2 things together is our beliefs are things that are important to us, or things that are important to us happen to be things that we believe, because most of the things that are important to us are not objective reality. They're subjective reality. They're, as Yuval Harari would say, they are fictional stories that we create and then we believe. In other words, you can't pick it up. You can't, if I say, I like peach pie, that's an opinion. Or peach pie is really good. It's very tasty. That's not an objective reality. That's a fictional story. That's a subjective reality to me. And so my reticular activation system will, as Mark Dawes says, scan all information available to me. So the things I can see, hear, smell, touch, taste, etc. It'll scan all that and for things to support the things I believe. So if I'm in a store and the chatter over the intercom all of a sudden says fresh baked peach pie, bam, that's going to get my attention, even though I didn't hear anything else. And when they say special on liver and onions, I probably wouldn't even notice that. But if I have a strong opinion about liver and onions, I would probably say, yuck, what kind of maniac would want to put on the loudspeaker, special on liver and onions? So those three functions are connectome, which are the neurons and what they do, our neurotransmitters, and our reticular activation system. So we have that inside of a circle diagram that looks like a pie with 3 even slices. On the outside of that, associated with our reticular activation system, we have the word beliefs, associated with neurotransmitters, behavior, and then associated with connectome is outcome. And the basic idea is the things that I believe, my beliefs trigger the release of neurotransmitters. The release of neurotransmitters causes me to feel good, bad, whatever, causes me to feel. My feelings affect my behavior, and my behavior affects the outcome. So an example, let's bring it back to prison or jail. People in prison and jail have a strong tendency to believe that it's important to be respected. Now note, the more successful you are, the less you feel this need to be respected because you have it internally and you know that it's a way for people to control you. But inside jail and prison, there's a need to be respected. So that's a belief. It's not an objective reality. You can't cut people open, do an autopsy, and find respect. It's a fictional story, as Yuval Harari would say. So there's a need to be respected. If you're not respected, so there's a belief, I need to be respected. And if somebody doesn't respect me, that triggers the release of certain neurotransmitters that make me feel upset. So cortisol, probably adrenaline, depending upon how much it is, how disrespected I am or how long it continues, I'll release more adrenaline. I'll get more upset, get mad, feel disrespected. At a certain point, my feelings of disrespect could affect my behavior, to the point where I might do something. I might punch somebody. And then that behavior leads to a certain outcome, which could be bad or it could be really bad, or maybe it's justified under the circumstances. But our beliefs lead to the release of neurotransmitters. Those neurotransmitters make us feel. Our feelings affect our behavior, and our behavior affects the outcome. So people who are well trained are in control of their emotions. I can feel something, but not behave based upon my feelings. And a good example of that would be Navy SEALs. Navy SEAL training is they have a lot of beliefs. You can look at the Navy SEAL Creed and a tremendous amount of beliefs that if the average person had, applying the categorical imperative, the world would be a much better place. Or the universalizability principle of the categorical imperative. If everybody acted according to the Navy SEAL Creed, the world would be a better place. Okay, so Navy SEALs are good at controlling their emotions. So they have maybe the release of neurotransmitters. Maybe they can avoid the release of neurotransmitters. If they're really tired or in pain, rather than feeling the pain, they can cause the release of endorphins or serotonin or dopamine or something like that to overcome the emotions that they would normally feel. Or they feel the emotion, but they decide to not behave based upon the emotion so that the outcome will be the desired outcome, not the outcome that's the result of the initial trigger. Okay, so that's the summary. And that's been kind of long. But so Jordan Peterson, really focuses on males who are not doing well, who know they're not doing well, but they don't know why they're not doing well. They just know they're not doing well. And they kind of feel useless because they're not doing well. And so a description that Jordan Peterson talked about that we're extending upon as a thought experiment would be, imagine you're sitting there standing next to a pile of bricks. You don't have anything going in life. Life is kind of frustrating. You don't have anything to do. You're just standing there, and next to you is a pile of bricks. And I don't mean the little bricks. I mean the like cinder block, concrete blocks. Maybe 150 of them. Just this pile of bricks you're standing next to, and you're just standing there. Nobody told you to stand there. You just find yourself in this thought experiment of you're just standing next to a pile of bricks, and you don't have anything else to do in your life. You're just standing there. There's no purpose, no meaning. You're just standing next to a pile of bricks, and you have nothing to do. You can't think of what is the next thing I should do. And so how would you feel? The idea is you'd feel useless. I'm just standing here doing nothing, standing next to a pile of bricks. Maybe there's things I could be doing, but I'm not doing them. I don't know what I should do, and I don't know what I can do because maybe I don't have any resources to go do the things that if I thought about doing them, I could do. I'm just standing here next to a pile of bricks. And then Jordan Peterson says, okay, well, let's say you just pick up a brick. You pick up a brick and you just put it down. Pick up a brick and you just put it down. Not really doing anything of any value or importance, but you're now doing something. You're not useless anymore. By definition, you're no longer useless. You're just picking up a brick and you're putting it down. Not really a lot of utility in that, but you're now doing something. And after a while, you might get tired, but for some reason, you might just kind of enjoy it. It's better than just standing there doing nothing. And so you could release endorphins just to make you feel a little better, mask the physical pain of picking up these bricks, which might weigh, 20 pounds each, 15, 20 pounds each, whatever it is. Pick it up, put it down. Pick up the brick, put it down. Pick up the brick, put it down. Pick up the brick, put it down. And then you get this idea of, hey, how about if I stack these bricks? I'm going to pick up the brick and I'm going to bring it over there and I'm going to stack it. I'm going to stack it neatly. I pick up the brick, I walk, 10, 20 paces, and I put it down. I come back and I get another brick, do the same thing. Okay, now what's happened? Now I have a purpose. I have something I'm doing. I have a task. And after a while, what's going to be released? Dopamine. I have a task. I want to accomplish this. And I might notice, hey, this pile of bricks is going to get smaller. Or, you know what? One day I can go from a pile of bricks over here to a stack of bricks over there. And that would be kind of cool. So I'm going to keep doing it. And I keep doing it. And as the pile gets smaller and the stack gets larger, I now have a goal, I have an objective, I have meaning, I have purpose, and I start feeling better. And I'm also now still continuing to release endorphins to mask the physical pain because these things they're heavy. This isn't like moving feathers. And I got to walk. And maybe I'm not used to walking, but I keep doing it. And I now have a purpose. And I can feel good when when the pile of bricks is gone and there's a stack of bricks. And somebody says, what did you do today? I can at least point to something I did and have a little bit of pride in it, which could release what? Serotonin. So after a while, somebody comes along and says, that pile of bricks that we had there, you know why that pile of bricks was there? No, I don't know why that pile of bricks was there. Well, that pile of bricks was there because we're going to build a wall. We're going to build a wall with those bricks. And you know what? I want to acknowledge and thank you for taking that pile of bricks over there and stacking it where you did, because that's going to help build the wall. So thank you. Now, how do you feel? Well, now I find out that the thing I was doing just for my own personal good was actually a benefit to other people. And so I feel a little bit more pride, maybe a lot more pride. And I might feel a little bit of oxytocin depending upon the person who told me that. whether I was able to bond with them or connect with them, or how sincere they were, how good of a job they did, or how well my imagination works of what I think they were thinking. And so now I'm part of something. Now I'm not just a guy moving a pile of bricks and stacking the bricks. I'm now part of a thing. And if I think about that thing, the wall, if I think about that thing, I'm going to think, wow, damn, that wall could be here for, hundreds of years. It could be here for a long, long time, well after I'm gone. And I can imagine the day I come back and the wall is here, and I can still take pride again in the fact of knowing that I played a part in that wall. And so that gives me the ability to project into the future a thought that I could have in the future, which will make me feel good today. I release serotonin or serotonin today, that I was part of this thing that's going to be around long after I'm gone. And if I come back through here years from now, or I can go tell somebody, hey, when you go to that place, there's this wall, and I was part of the wall. I was part of building that. And let's say this is in the summertime in Las Vegas, and it's 115 degrees outside, and I'm doing it, but I don't have anything else to do, and I kind of feel good about doing it. And then I notice that there's somebody coming and taking the bricks off the stack. But my walking and his walking are not synced up, so we never get to the pile of the stack of bricks at the same time. I might see him walking away, or I might be walking away, or whatever. We just don't, we're not in the same place at the same time. We're not occupying the same space at the same time. But one time we do. And the guy says to me, I'm the guy who's making the wall. I just want to thank you for stacking the bricks for me over here, because you made my life a lot easier than if I had to go over there and go pick up through the stack of bricks, because you made it a lot easier for me to pick them up. And every time I come back, the stack is still about the same height, so it's easy for me. I'm not having to bend way down and pick them up, and etc. And so I wanted to thank you for that. And damn, it's hot out here, isn't it? And at that point, if you're bonding, you're releasing oxytocin, you're going to respond. Yeah, you are going to now start bonding. Yeah, it is hot, but you know what? Screw it. We can keep doing this. And then how do you feel? You feel pretty damn good, because now you're actually part of the process of building the wall. And how did it start? It started by just picking up the goddamn brick and not being useless. And I think that's kind of a theme in Jordan Peterson's thing, is just do something. Just start by doing something. And then if we attach Simon Sinek onto it, he'd say, our bodies have evolved to have systems inside of them, i.e. the release of neurotransmitters, that are there to get us to prosper and survive and then prosper and to do better, to get us to work together and make things happen, which then would tie back to Yuval Harari of, why do we control the planet? Why do humans control the planet? Well, we control the planet because we alone are able to cooperate flexibly in large numbers. So like that thought experiment with the pile of bricks, and all of a sudden building a wall with the guy, and that wall is going to last forever. And wow, this is pretty cool. That's because only humans are able to do that. And we do it. We're able to cooperate flexibly in large numbers because we create stories that we can then believe in. In this case, the story is, this is an important wall. Building this wall is an important thing to do. It's worth doing. There's a reason to do it. We're going to build the wall. And how are we able to do that? Well, because we alone have the ability to imagine the usefulness, the utility of a wall, or stories, fictional stories that we can believe. We have the ability to imagine things like that. We have imagination. Why do we have imagination? Well, we have imagination because we have more neurons, or as Yuval Harari would say, neurons. We have more neurons than any other living creature. Well, not necessarily than some whale type mammals, but we have more neurons, And those extra neurons enable us to live in a dual reality, not just objective reality world, but a fictional reality world where we can create stories. And if we believe the stories, then we will cooperate flexibly in large numbers to enact those stories. And so, it's Jordan Peterson's discussion of how you become less useless is you just start by doing something. And it'll say the heavier the load, the better it's going to be, because it makes you do something. I think Simon Sinek would say, yeah, and that's because you feel better with the heavier load than a light load, because your natural systems in your body, i.e. the release of neurotransmitters, you're going to probably release more. You're going to have to mask more physical pain by dealing with a bunch of bricks rather than a bunch of feathers. So anyway, that's our talk today. And I think that the take home would be, think about it relative to your life. What is the pile of bricks that you can do when you're feeling useless? What's the thing you can do that's as simple as just picking up a brick and putting it down? Pick up the brick, put it down. What's the thing that you can do when you're in that position? And that's it. So tomorrow's another day.